Picture this: a family gathers before an altar, offering incense to wooden tablets inscribed with names. They're not praying to gods, they're communicating with their ancestors. This scene has repeated for thousands of years, forming the bedrock of Chinese family life. Ancestor worship dates back to China's earliest civilizations. Archaeological evidence from the Shang dynasty shows oracle bones used to consult ancestors about everything from harvests to warfare. Even then, the dead were considered active participants in family affairs. Confucius formalized these practices during the Zhou dynasty. He taught that filial piety, respect for parents and ancestors, was society's foundation. "Serve the dead as you would serve the living," he declared, making ancestor worship a moral duty. The practice survived dynastic changes, wars, and revolutions. Why? Because it answered fundamental human questions. Where do we come from? Who are we? Ancestor worship provided identity in a world of uncertainty. At its core, ancestor worship creates reciprocity between generations. The living provide offerings, food, incense, paper money. In return, ancestors offer protection, guidance, and blessings. It's an eternal exchange that binds families. The ancestral tablet is more than wood and ink. It's a physical connection point where the ancestor's spirit resides. Families consult these tablets during important decisions, seeking wisdom accumulated over lifetimes. Gravesites serve as another crucial connection. Families maintain elaborate tombs, often on hillsides with favorable feng shui. Annual tomb sweeping during Qingming festival reinforces these physical ties to the past. Rituals follow precise protocols passed down through generations. The order of bows, specific offerings, and ceremonial words create continuity. Even small deviations feel like breaking connection with ancestors. Ancestors aren't worshipped as gods, but respected as elders who continue guiding the family. Their approval matters in marriages, career choices, and major purchases. Many Chinese still feel ancestors watching their life choices. This practice reinforces family hierarchy and responsibility. Younger generations care for elders in life, then honor them in death. This creates powerful incentives for filial behavior throughout one's lifetime. Genealogy records become sacred texts in this system. Elaborate family trees trace lineage back centuries. Knowing one's place in this continuum provides identity and belonging that transcends individual lifespan. During major festivals like Chinese New Year, ancestor worship takes center stage. Before celebrating with the living, families first honor the dead. This sequence reminds everyone that present joy rests on past sacrifices. The Communist Revolution challenged these traditions. Mao Zedong denounced ancestor worship as feudal superstition. Many ancestral halls were destroyed and public rituals suppressed, but the practice survived in homes. Today, ancestor worship has revived and adapted. Urban apartments feature compact altars. Online memorials allow diaspora families to participate remotely. The essence remains, while forms evolve for modern life. Psychological studies show this practice provides real benefits. Remembering ancestors increases gratitude, reduces fear of death, and strengthens family cohesion. Science confirms what tradition knew: connecting with roots grounds us. Ancestor worship also preserves family stories and values. Each ritual retells ancestors' achievements and virtues. Children learn not just names, but moral examples to emulate across generations. The practice extends to community ancestors too. Many villages maintain collective ancestral halls where all families honor founding ancestors. This creates shared identity beyond immediate bloodlines. Businesses sometimes incorporate ancestor worship too. Company founders might be honored alongside family ancestors. This blends entrepreneurial success with traditional values of continuity and legacy. Critics argue ancestor worship encourages backward-looking conservatism, but practitioners counter that it provides stability in changing times. Knowing where you come from helps navigate where you're going. The practice faces new challenges today. Smaller families, urbanization, and secularization test its continuity. Yet creative adaptations suggest ancestor worship will evolve rather than disappear. Ancestor worship influences Chinese art profoundly. Portraits of ancestors, ritual objects, and grave art all reflect this relationship with the dead. Even contemporary artists draw on these themes. Food offerings reveal cultural values. Ancestors receive their favorite dishes, seasonal fruits, and sometimes even cigarettes or tea. These tangible offerings make abstract connections feel real and immediate. Paper offerings burned for ancestors represent another fascinating adaptation. Paper houses, cars, and even smartphones provide comforts in the afterlife. This practice constantly updates to reflect contemporary life. Ancestor worship shapes Chinese attitudes toward death itself. Rather than final separation, death becomes transition to another form of family membership. The dead remain present, just in different ways. This tradition also maintains practical knowledge across generations. Farming techniques, business wisdom, and family recipes pass down alongside ritual knowledge. Ancestors become repositories of accumulated experience. Migration tests, but doesn't break these bonds. Overseas Chinese maintain ancestral connections across oceans. Technology now helps, but the fundamental need to honor roots remains unchanged. Ancestor worship intersects with other Chinese traditions like Feng Shui and traditional medicine. Grave placement affects family fortune. Ancestral blessings influence health. Everything connects in this holistic worldview. The practice teaches that individuals exist within generational streams. Your actions honor or shame ancestors. Your legacy will guide descendants. This perspective encourages responsible living. Some families include adopted members or in-laws in ancestor worship. This expands biological definitions of family. What matters isn't just blood, but commitment to shared lineage and values. Ancestor worship appears in Chinese literature constantly. Classic novels like Dream of the Red Chamber feature elaborate ancestral rituals. Even modern stories reference these traditions as cultural touchstones. The practice faces gender complexities traditionally. Women joined husbands' ancestral lines upon marriage, leaving their own. Modern reforms allow more flexibility, but tensions between tradition and equality persist. Ancestor worship thrives because it meets deep human needs for connection, meaning, and continuity. In our fragmented modern world, these needs haven't disappeared, they've intensified. This tradition shows how Chinese culture values the collective over individual. Your identity comes from lineage, not just personal achievement. This shapes everything from career choices to marriage decisions. Ancestor worship also maintains ethnic Han identity amid globalization. As Western influences grow, these rituals preserve distinct cultural markers. They're both spiritual practice and cultural resistance. The practice demonstrates Chinese pragmatism. It's not about theological dogma, but practical family functioning. If rituals strengthen bonds and guide behavior, they're valuable regardless of metaphysical questions. Younger generations often approach ancestor worship differently. They may question specific rituals while valuing the connection. This generational negotiation ensures tradition evolves without breaking. Ancestor worship ultimately answers mortality's challenge. By maintaining bonds beyond death, it denies final separation. The family continues, with dead and living members supporting each other eternally. As China modernizes rapidly, ancestor worship remains surprisingly resilient. It adapts to apartments, smartphones, and global diaspora while preserving core meaning. We're part of stories larger than ourselves. This tradition offers wisdom for all cultures. Honor your roots while growing forward. Remember those who came before as you build for those who will follow. In this balance between past and future, families find their strength. Ancestor worship isn't superstition, but sophisticated cultural technology for family survival. For thousands of years, it has been the glue holding Chinese families together through wars, migrations, and revolutions, and it continues today.